.1201 in Edmonton. Happy Monday to you. Tom Gazzola, YouTube Trev with you. Thank you, Matthew Awanek, for getting us up and running right here on the oil stream, presented by Boston Pizza. We will be at Boston Pizza 170th on Saturday, afternoon game, Oilers in LA. Join us. $5 off medium pizzas, $1 off tankards of Coors and Molson beer. And then all the splendor your heart desires with us.
Yes.
There.
Is there not a golf sim at that?
There's a golf sim. The Coors Light golf sim at Westgate on 170th.
I'm going to have to hit that up pretty soon.
$20 an hour. Best rate I have seen in the city.
That's a great rate.
Great price.
Man, a lot of them are pretty up there. But no, $20 can't go wrong with that, man.
I think CCT, if you're not a member, is like 40 something.
Damn.
Ice House has one. I think it's around $30, which is a decent price.
Have some brewskis.
Have some pizza.
Pizza, some wings.
And enjoy friendship and camaraderie. I know I pronounced that weird. Together at BP on Saturday. And of course, they are presenting sponsor here.
I think I'll be there.
On the oil stream. We're going to have a great time. It's our last one of the regular season. We'll also be at Hudson's White Avenue on Wednesday if you'd like to join us. Always a great time. Connor and the crew at Hudson's White are fantastic. Tony, Curtis, and the staff at BP 170th, the best. And different vibes, different locations, different feels to them.
Yeah.
But all around great time.
Oh,
so come join us.
The best. The absolute best. Happy Easter, Tom.
Happy Easter, Trevor.
Is that what people say? Is it happy
They do
Easter?
say that.
I was saying Happy Thanksgiving a little bit yesterday.
Whoops.
I meant to say Happy Easter, but I was
Wrong one.
Yeah, I was like, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Easter. Nope, that was good.
That ain't it.
Get up to anything fun? Did you hide any? Or did you get any
No, I didn't.
snacks hit on you?
I went to my aunt's place for Easter dinner, which was for some reason at 3 p.m. My brother was going back to Calgary and his bus was leaving at... He goes on the bus. He doesn't drive.
That's a bold decision.
He has a vehicle, but he hops on the bus. I don't think he wants to drive.
He likes buses?
It works easy for him. And he has like the pay-as-you-go insurance too, and he doesn't. He's like, I don't want to pay.
Never thought about that, going on a bus.
He doesn't mind. The Red Arrow.
Yeah.
They're nicer.
I was talking to Gager last week.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about his time over in Europe
mm-hmm.
and just how the transit there, there's trains, right?
Trains everywhere.
Like you see
train stations are a big deal.
Global map of like trains, like how you get to, A to B to C and all that. You have North America, it's like a few lines.
Yep.
And then in Europe, it's like just
everywhere.
Lit up.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that, man. Like, how cool would it be? He's like, oh, it was the best. If you want to go from one place to another, you go on a train.
Mm-hmm.
You have a few beers.
Mm-hmm.
There's bars on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I want that so bad for
it's
Alberta.
It's neat.
Like Edmonton, it's a little bit of a trek for me to go home on weekends. But if I could go on a train from Lethbridge or from Edmonton to Lethbridge, I had a bar on it, I'd be going home every weekend, Tommy.
Yeah.
Just get my work done, go to the bar, go back to my laptop,
Do your thing.
It's convenient. I want that.
Yeah. Well, obviously Europe is huge. It's a huge continent, but it's older, obviously.
A little bit more traditional.
And condensed, sure. But the train system is very elaborate and efficient. Like when I was in Finland for the World Championships, Helsinki's the southernmost point of Finland.
Okay.
And it's the most populous city, obviously. Great time, great city. And everybody from around Finland would train into Helsinki for the weekends.
Oh,
and the size of the city would like double.
Yeah, like that. Give me that. That's what I want.
I remember at the end of the World Championships, my videographer and I went out and we left the bar at like 5 a.m. And I remember seeing like couples in their 70s that had also gone out, not to the same bar we were at, like making out at bus stops. I'm like, oh, all right. I like Europeans.
Yeah, this is great.
Hey, why don't we do that back home?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
They love each other.
And it's cold as hell up there, too. I think it's even further north than Edmonton. I think it was on the same level as Grand Prairie, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's something.
But everybody trained in.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like that. Isn't there talks of a train from Calgary to Edmonton?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Bullet, but isn't it like a bullet train?
Like a fast train. They're trying to do one between LA and Vegas right now. I think they're in the middle of construction. Yeah, man. I mean, there's such a
fascinated by it.
I've done the train from San Jose to San Francisco. It's an Amtrak, and then the one from New York City to Newark or wherever we used to stay in. Oh, Garden City, Long Island, into New York City.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my train flexes aren't nearly I was on the...
Oh, don't worry about it. Trains are cool. They're different.
Edmonton LRT I was on?
Nope.
And the
that's
Calgary
not,
C train.
No, not great. Not great.
That's my
yeah.
trains.
And the Sky train in Vancouver.
Oh.
I've been on the New York City subway line. That's interesting. Boston's is interesting. Chicago's is good.
That's cool, man.
Where else have I done the train?
That's
it. Portland. Portland was good.
Thomas the choo-choo train? Isn't that Thomas the train?
I thought it was the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's what it is.
Shining Time Station.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can text us 780-218-9999. You can hop into the nasty chat as well. Let us know your thoughts as the Oilers get set for a road trip. It starts tomorrow night in Utah. Then it's off to San Jose on Wednesday and wraps up Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. start. We will be live on location at Boston Pizza 170th. Come on down. Let's have some fun against the LA Kings. And then the Oilers come home for 2 in a row. They get the Avs on Monday, wrap up the regular season on Thursday against the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
Trev.
Tommy.
I asked you before we started the show, I said, were you disappointed with Saturday's outcome? And you're like, I'm okay.
Nah.
Explain.
Yeah, I mean, they're eventually going to lose. Would it have been cool to see the Oilers finish the season going undefeated? Well, in that last little stretch there.
Sure.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but it's not very realistic. And I think out of all the teams left on the schedule, the Vegas Golden Knights, that was the team that I had picked to beat the Oilers. And that's what they ended up doing. I noticed them. They were a lot faster. They had a lot more pep in their step from last time. I remember watching the Golden Knights, which was only a few weeks ago. But the bump is there. Like the code, I don't know. We'll get into that a little bit. Like, why is there a coach bump? I'm just curious. Like, is it just a click, a switch in the brain? Yep. No. Okay. New coach is here. I like to think that the players just want to show their coach a lot more hustle.
That could be.
I think that's kind of what I saw a lot. I just feel like the Vegas Golden Knights, from the team that I saw on Saturday night, that was the Vegas Golden Knights I had envisioned going into the season. I thought they generated, they had some good looks. I thought, all lines were pretty solid for them, but they just had a lot more hustle than I recall their last game, which was on the March 26th, which was the Oilers. They won that one in OT 4-3. But just comparing the two, the Vegas Golden Knights looked a lot better, a lot more polished, and just a lot more, I say, hustle. That's what I saw from the Golden Knights. So, yeah, they're obviously, we're going to lose. They lost to a Golden Knights team, a team that's got everyone kind of rolling right now, the players that is. So, yeah, you win some, you lose some. That's just, they were going to lose, though. Eventually, they were going to lose, Tommy.
Maybe a good wake-up call. I suggested this Saturday night on the post-game show because we talked about how they beat Chicago, and some people alluded to the sloppy play that they had against that Chicago Blackhawks team, which I agree with. They still got the win against the Hawks, but then, like you said, Vegas was the sharper team, had more jump. Maybe it was the coach bump, whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the Oilers were the worst of the two teams, and I thought maybe this is good. You get that little wake up call, shake your head, dust yourself off, and then finish out these last 5 games strong, and a good reminder that, you're on the way up. You're playing well. You're getting the results you want, but you're not there yet.
Yeah.
And sometimes a lopsided loss like that can do that for a team. Not always, but I just made that suggestion. Some people didn't buy it, but to me, I think it's okay. They'll be fine.
Yeah, and didn't even bring up the fact that obviously Zach Hyman was out for that game.
Correct.
He definitely is a huge key component to the Oilers' success, offensive success for sure. That definitely messes with the line. So you're out, Zach Hyman. You're already out, Leon Draisaitl. Obviously that's going to play a huge part.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Zach Hyman is in the game on Saturday, it would be a very different outcome. Yeah, I'd still expect the Vegas Golden Knights to bring it because that's what we saw. But I think the Oilers would have been able to generate more chances, whether it be on, because I don't know. It also throws in, it's just all of a sudden, here you go, Chris. Now time to shine, time to coach. And you kind of saw the lines. He had them. What was it? It was Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Savoy to start that game.
Yep.
But you saw that wasn't
that
working.
up.
So and you hadn't really seen much of that. You actually in the 5-game win streak, I feel like Knobloch was pretty consistent with rolling out the lines.
Yes.
So you all of a sudden you're dealt that crappy hand, and you have to try and step up. Those are big skates to fill. They're already trying to make up for Leon Draisaitl. It's a tough ask, right?
We did get an update. That's a fair point. We did get an update today from Chris Knobloch in regard to Hyman and Draisaitl. Spec put it out there. Speaking with Knobloch, sounds like Draisaitl is a maybe for game 1 of the playoffs. Hyman should play regular season games. So that timeline has been consistent for Draisaitl. I was told again over the weekend, nothing's changed. They still anticipate and expect him, or the expectation is for the playoffs. I know there was some chatter out there about him playing regular season games, but that I was told was probably not going to happen. So Knobloch said Draisaitl maybe for game 1 of the playoffs, and then Hyman should play regular season games. That's from Spec, coming off the Chris Knobloch post-practice press conference. Yes, sir.
Did you happen to hear Darren Dreger on the Nielsen show today?
I caught some of Dregs. I was getting ready for today. What did Dreg say that I missed?
Well, it was I was just listening, but I don't know, obviously he's an insider. He knows the insides, all the stuff going behind the scenes, but just his comments were, I was the first time where I was just like, oh, like this is, I don't know. He just made it seem like maybe it'll be like for sure almost later in the first round, or maybe
for Leon.
Yeah.
Like that was not a insignificant injury.
Yeah. So so I don't know, kind of interesting, but
where's Crosby at? Like, is he still out?
Nope.
Back. Oh, he came back, right? Yeah. That's right. Because I think he just hit 1,800 points. Was it 1,800 points?
I'm not sure about the points, but I know that yesterday he clinched. He is now 21 straight seasons averaging a point per game,
which is wild.
Which we'll go around the league. Just gonna say that if that's okay later in the show.
Yes.
Just a quick. I got a few things I want to get your thoughts on.
We'll go around the league
and the Nasties as well. But yeah, we'll touch on Crosby.
1,756 career regular season points.
He passed. What is it? He's top 10 now, or what is it? I don't know. He's getting up there, regardless, which is pretty cool, man.
He's top 5 all-time scorer.
This is my next question.
What?
Will he reach 2,000 points?
That's why it came up. Crosby is 7th all-time in points. He is maybe he catches Marcel Dion by the end of the season. He only has a few games left. He's 12 points back of Dion. Ron Francis at 1,798. He's 5th. Gordie Howe, 1,850. I think he could catch Gordie Howe and Mark Messier for sure.
I think he can.
Messier sitting 3rd at 1,887, fittingly. And then Yager at 1,921, and then Gretzky untouchable at 2,857 regular season points.
Still doesn't make sense to me. I remember the first time I was able to use a device to look up things when I was younger. First thing I looked up, Wayne Gretzky. I want to see these stats. And then you just saw that. I'm like, I was in grade 5. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And I'm 27 now. It still doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Like watching Gretzky, I can't fathom it. It was this year I learned that back then in fantasy, you could only, if you had the first overall pick as well, you could only draft for some pools or whatever. You could only draft his goals or you can draft his assists, but you couldn't draft both, which I was just like, damn.
Yeah. Take the assists.
Yeah.
That was always the best. All right, we have lines from today's practice before the Oilers hit the road to Utah, or I should say the Friendly Skies, to Salt Lake City. McDavid was between Podkolzin and Savoy. Nugent Hopkins centering Kapanen and Roslovic. Dickinson between Doc and Frederick. Henrique centering Jones and Lazar. And then you had Szymanski and the newly signed Owen Michaels on the ice as your extra forwards. And then on defense, you had Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Murphy, Wallman with Emerson, with Spencer Stastny as your number 7. Anything tickle your fancy there?
Who had those lines? Sorry.
Tony had those lines.
Good old Tony. One sec here, Tommy.
Tony loves the lines.
Yeah, he's all over him.
He gets them out there. He's very consistent. It's good.
Yeah, okay, so...
McDavid, Podkolzin, Savoy.
Yeah.
Nugent Hopkins, Kapanen, Roslovic. Dickinson between Doc and Frederick. Henrique between Jones and Lazar.
Not like, would you ask if there's anything I would change? Or
did anything catch your attention?
Catch my attention?
Yeah. Last post-game show, there were a few people, not many, I would put it on one hand, less than, that were saying that Nugent Hopkins can't drive his own line. It was a lot of people that always complain about him, having an opportunity to complain about him, and taking that opportunity and complaining about him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Nuge, it depends on the year for him. Like, do I think he can drive a line? Yes. But I mean, he's a player that I think he really needs the right players to play with. I thought for the first time in a long time, him with Hyman and Roslovic, that was the first time I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he can center this line. And the last time that I thought that, we're going to have to go back a few years, it was Janmark and Klim Kostin and Nugent Hopkins. They were a line for a while, and I was like, and McDavid.
That line sucks.
Well, it does suck, but Nugent Hopkins.
I'd say that.
But Nugent Hopkins, I feel like, I don't know what it was, man. Just that line, I was like, oh, okay, you know what? He's centering this line, and it actually was okay. Like, it didn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
But it was actually okay, I swear. So yeah, like, aside from that, I mean, it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time since Nuge has really been able to be a center and to have line mates that you can trust.
I think he can play center, no problem. It's just if you expect him to quote unquote drive a line, that's not the type of player he is. He's a great complementary piece.
Yeah,
he'll be responsible defensively. No, he's not great on faceoffs. He's okay. But if he has good, reliable wingers, that's when he can really cook, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, and people are saying, oh, you know, he can get wicked points. Like, he is, if he's driving a line, he's not going to be a 70-point center. That's not who he is, obviously. He's a 50-point centerman, winger, but you know, he can. I absolutely think he can center a line. But Kapanen, Roslovic, Nuge, obviously, you'd way rather have Hyman there over Kapanen.
Yeah.
So, in the first line with Podkolzin, McDavid, Savoy, I think it was working. Before, that little game, that little stretch there. So, yeah, I'm okay with these lines.
All right. What say you? 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat as well. Andrew, the accountant, says, tell people the real news, Tommy. McDavid had black tape on his stick at practice. Woof.
Actually, I have that written down here, Tommy.
Yeah. Jason, we'll get to the black tape thing. I think Kapanen also switched his tape. Jason says Roslovic has really dropped off. If he's not scoring, he's totally unnoticed. Yeah, and to what Jason's saying, that's kind of his persona, is you either notice him all the time because he's all over the place, nice touches with the puck, or he's a ghost. And that goes back to when we had Aaron Portzline on here, I think with Joaquin and Hernan. And that was the descriptor that Portzline gave to everybody that day when the Oilers signed him, is that you can watch him and you'd be mesmerized by how good he is in his peak, and then he'll fade away a few games later and not notice him for a couple of weeks. And Jason, yeah, absolutely. Like that's kind of Jack Roslovic. And that's why whenever the discussion of an extension would pop up, we'd be like, are you sure you want to commit, 4 or 5 years to this guy at more than $4 million a year when it's like peaks and valleys that are pretty distinct as opposed to playing more consistently? So yeah, that's a fair point by Jason. The black tape thing. Do you want to get to that? Tell everybody what happened with the black tape thing.
Well, I don't know a heck of a whole lot about it. So
you saw.
I was just scrolling, and I think it was TSN that had it. But McDavid's changing things today at practice. Black tape he had.
Why does that tickle your fancy?
I don't know. It's just, I'm just more like, does he think he's fighting it right now? Is McDavid fighting it? Is that why he's like, I'm not, that's the only thing I can really come to a conclusion to is, I want to play better. I haven't really, so let me change up something. And hockey players, they're about as superstitious as any athlete out there. So I don't know. That's the only thing I could
see his game log. I'm sure his game log would tell us.
But he's still over a point per game in his last 10, obviously. Like he's not, but I definitely thought on Saturday he was really good. Like he was buzzing, extra buzzing. Didn't have anything to really show for it. Obviously the Oilers lose. So maybe just changing the stick tape.
8 points in his last 5 games, 3 of them goals.
Yeah.
And he's +6 in that time. I think he's okay. Sometimes, and we didn't ask, I wasn't down there. I was in the studio, obviously. Sometimes guys just mix it up just for fun.
Just
try
for fun.
Something different.
Yeah.
That could be it too.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
I'm going to put it out there to our audience. Text us 780-218-9999. Wrong answers only. Why did McDavid go with black tape today at practice?
We'll see. I'm sure.
I want to try one of these. I like when Dusty does it.
I know they're so quick with it. I'm like, damn it.
Wrong answers only. Why did Connor McDavid use black tape at practice today? I want to read those out as we progress through the oil stream presented by Boston Pizza. You got Tom Gazzola, you got YouTube Trev. The Oilers getting set for a 3-game road trip. As they have 5 games remaining. Attaboy Stan texting in says, Tommy, who makes $4 million that doesn't come and go on the score sheet? If he was noticeable all the time, he'd be $8 million. Are you making a case for Roslovic?
Yeah. Well,
Stan?
I don't know. Like I feel, it's tough to, and it fair, I guess. I don't know. I'm big on Roslovic. I really like him as a player, but he does have tendencies of disappearing. I find that when the Oilers maybe aren't scoring as a whole, he's also not. When they're scoring, he's in, and when they're not scoring, he's not in. So,
it's very noticeable. Like I understand where Attaboy Stan, who texted in, is coming. Like I get what you mean, but it's maybe because of how good Roslovic can look and how effective he can be, that it's that much more frustrating that when he gives you nothing.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good point.
Disappointing.
Because
I mean?
You do see stuff where you're just like, wow, this guy looks like he could, have
a star player.
Yeah, like he does have, games, stretches where he's very noticeable and he's very shifty out there and he's making great passes. And, sometimes when he's partnered with Leon, they read the game very well together and you're like, damn, yeah, the Oilers got a player here. But the frustration for sure sets in when that's not there. And he has that potential, but you're just like, why can't he put it together for longer stretches? Because I think I like Roslovic a lot. But this playoffs he's going to be one of the players I'm most like glued to watching
in the playoffs,
just to see. Yeah, like
do you think he'll end up being a healthy? I'm kidding.
I don't think
they don't have the depth to healthy scratch.
No, but
like Carolina did last season.
It either goes two ways.
Tell me,
just like how he was last year for Carolina.
Yeah,
invisible.
Right.
I don't think it'll get to the point where he'll be a healthy scratch.
What
but
did he have? 3 assists.
Or he's going to be a huge role player for this team. Like I could see that happening. No.
Last year's postseason.
I think he has a skill.
He does have the skill. There's no denying that. He's been a decent player in the National Hockey League for a long time. A goal and 3 assists in 9 playoff games last year. And Carolina went to the conference final.
Yeah.
So he got sat a bunch of games.
Yep.
Last year.
It's very interesting. Some Baggio in the inbox.
All right.
Why McDavid changed his tape to black?
Wrong answers only, by the way.
Wrong answers only because he is the Dark Knight.
I like that. I'm Batman.
Man. Were you white tape, black tape?
White tape.
Yeah, I think white tape is just more clean.
Tube socks, slick. I can't read that.
Tube socks. Bad tube socks.
Troll says McDavid is preparing to move to LA in a couple of years. That's wrong answers only, of course, for why he used black tape today at practice.
That's not bad.
Keep them within reason. I can't read out expletives or anything way over the line. Eden texting and says, hey, boy, someone once described Eberle as, if he's not scoring, what is he doing for you? Roslovic reminds me of that quote. Yeah.
I remember Eberle's last season. That's a good point. Eberle's last season here. He went on like a 20-game goalless drought.
Which was rare for him.
Yeah, very rare. But yeah, that was weird. That's fair enough. Told me a lot of players, for sure when Draisaitl went down, a lot of players stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone that needs to step up more, do you think, for this Oilers team? So I'm not like looking up. You asked this question.
What do you want in terms, like, what is define step up right now in this moment where Edmonton's 7-3 in its last 10, just had its winning streak broken? What do you want to see in terms of step up?
I guess just more offense, more goals. You take a lot of goals out of the equation.
Yeah.
So who's stepping up with goals?
Well, Roslovic would be, I think, since we're talking about him, that's someone you'd like to see step up. Nugent Hopkins, I think he's goalless in 8 or 9 games now. Obviously, he would be another guy you'd point to and say, can you please step up? Kapanen got one a couple games ago, so that was good. Podkolzin's been chipping in. The depth guys have scored a little bit.
I think that's pretty well what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Like you have
Savoy's
to be
been good. Like Henrique even scored, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
If they're winning, are they not stepping up? Or do you just want to see more offense?
No,
is there a difference there?
I guess, no. I was more so just looking
at... is it good enough if they're winning?
Yeah,
or do you still want to see a step up? Like, if you told me who needs to step up on the power play, I would say, all right, this is where a Roslovic or a Savoy needs to chip it. I would say Nugent Hopkins 100% would need to be stepping up on the power play in this period of time where the power play has struggled without Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Hyman, step up. I know he's hurt right now, but that's, if you gave me that area of the game in this moment in time of the season, I'd say I'd like to see those guys step up.
Yeah.
But offensively in general, or just with overall play, I think the depth guys that are veterans need to step up right now.
Yeah.
If you want to bounce back against Utah, where you're going to need to have a good game tomorrow and go 6-0 all time against the Utah franchise. So they're 5-0 against them. I think it's ridiculous that they don't have the Coyotes history. They're somehow an expansion franchise. That's beside the point. Anyway, I would say for tomorrow, the veteran guys, Podkolzin, Kapanen, Henrique, Nugent Hopkins, I want to see them step up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
You
want to see Wallman play well.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you there. You brought up the power play. Did you expect it to? We knew it was gonna
drop off.
Did you
not like
expect
this?
Yeah.
What is it? 2 for 20 something now since the Draisaitl injury. No, I'm surprised at how impotent it has become.
Me too. Like I knew he was obviously just a massive piece, but really puts in perspective just how, and also the fact that the thing that I've really appreciated is you see it's happened a few times where Connors went to Nuge. He's went to him a few times and he's kind of shot wide, and it just.
He had a one-timer wide the other night.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
the
look
one-timer
at
wide. I think that was Nugent Hopkins' last goal was actually, it might have been a power play goal, 1T that he had. But
he had one, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I think that was the first one-timer I've ever seen Nugent Hopkins pull off. But it just goes to show like how insane Draisaitl is, because you're just like, that's a wide open net. Any player can really do that. But there's been a few tries for, I think it was Podkolzin, he had a few goes like earlier when Draisaitl went down. Nugent Hopkins has now found that spot, it looks like. And there's only been one goal where Draisaitl is, but it's surprising, man, because they've had their opportunities there and it hasn't gone in. So I don't know. It's just it's really changed my perspective, like just how consistent and how unreal Leon is from that spot.
Yeah. He's elite, man. He's creme de la creme. Zedmo via the nasty chat says, the Oilers needed young guys to step up. Savoy and Podkolzin should have left them with Connor. Yeah, there's been a bit of a blender, even though there's been success lately. Some of it due to, injury circumstance. But I understand where Zedmo's coming from in regard to that one. We also have some wrong answers only in regard to why Connor McDavid used black tape today at practice. Poop Stains, hello Poop Stains, says Cooper told McDavid he would score more with black tape.
Oh, you bad boy.
Bad Poop Stains.
Yeah.
Luke in Cowtown texts again, says McDavid is mourning the hiring of his next ex-coach, Tortorella. Norman at Combine says Nuge has a rocket of a one-timer. Ha 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 ha. Are you joking, Norm? And then Norm says they had a good send-off for VR Montenegro last Thursday at BP 170th. Looked like an awesome time. And VR Montenegro, I saw him pop into the chat.
That'd be VR.
On Saturday. He is now in Nippon, one of our nasties.
Yeah.
Making the trek to Saskatchewan.
Absolute beauty of a nasty.
Great guy. Great guy. All right, we're inside the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studios. Of course, at Popeyes, you can get the $4 faves, the classic chicken sandwich, the mini version, the classic mini wrap with the, oh man, I love, those are so easy and they fill you up just enough and they don't cost you an arm and a leg. The mini nugs, $4, fries, all your dipping sauces. And then they also have the mini combo for $5.49. You get a soda, you get a fry, and you get a mini chicken sandwich or a mini chicken wrap. I always found it weird when people call it a fry.
A fry?
Really, it's fries. There's multiple fries.
I'll get a large fry.
Yeah, it's like, well,
one of these days you're going to get a big fry.
One big fry.
One big fry.
From a huge potato.
And a big, yeah, that'd be funny. I like that.
I'll take a large fry. You mean fries?
Yes. Yeah, it's weird because we always, I've noticed the last few shows, so we've always kind of talked about words. And what is it? You have a good vernacular?
Vernacular.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Use of words, expense.
Yeah. But just going back, do you know the roots, the origin story to, because I know you always touch on this.
What?
The Maple Leafs. Why the Leafs? Why not the Leafs?
I think I read it somewhere and didn't care for it. And then as I got older and appreciate proper language and speaking, think it's stupid.
Yeah. Because I know you've just, whenever you read some text, you've been like, thank you for saying Leafs, texting leaves.
Leaves, because that is the proper plural.
Yeah, I don't know. Does any
Let's
nasties
find
know
out.
that? Why is that a thing? Was it Leafs back then?
Yeah.
Like, was that how it was? Maple Leafs? Like, oh, look at all the Leafs.
No.
Was that a thing? And then they're like, oh, and then all of a sudden they changed the word on them. No, it's actually leaves. And they're like, well, our logo says Leafs. I don't know. Maybe Benny knows.
I don't.
I'm looking for it.
I really don't, Trev.
That's okay. I believe you.
Thanks, Trev.
Okay. The spelling of this is AI. So the spelling of the Toronto Maple Leafs is not a grammatical error, but a choice rooted in history and linguistics. When owner Conn Smythe renamed the team in 1927, he chose the name to honor Canadian soldiers of World War I. Smythe, a veteran himself, was inspired by the maple leaf badges worn by Canadian soldiers during the Great War. He viewed the maple leaf as a badge of courage and wanted his players to wear it with the same pride and honor as the troops had. Oh, I respect that very much.
Yes, respect.
That makes sense.
Only the actual team had that courage.
And respect.
And respect.
Touche, Benjamin.
And played, yeah.
Very good.
If only.
They don't.
So
They don't. Nope.
wait, you said something else in there. That was Conn Smythe, the owner?
He was the owner. He built Maple Leaf Gardens.
Conn Smythe. Okay, that's like one of the coolest names ever.
Yeah, but it's like
Is that
a
his
nickname.
last name? Oh, yeah.
Smythe is his last name.
And then Conn was...
That was like a nickname.
Okay. Sorry, we're kind of taking this.
No, that's okay. This
is history.
History lesson.
I'm learning stuff. This is good. We need this. Are you learning? Taking down these notes, Betty?
Yeah.
Conn Smythe.
Person Constantine Falkland Carey Smythe.
Cheapers.
Born in 1895.
Holy Constantine.
There you go.
Damn. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, I knew it wasn't his real full name.
Okay. I like that. Conn Smythe. There we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like Cyclone Taylor, his real name wasn't really Cyclone.
No?
No.
Oh, I learned that. I just learned that too.
Cyclone Taylor.
I love these names, man.
Dit Clapper.
Dick Clapper.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that?
Frederick Wellington Cyclone Taylor.
Okay, never mind. Frederick.
Right? Born in
Always-
1884. What about Dit Clapper? Let's look up
My
Dit
name's
Clapper.
Frederick, but call me Cyclone.
Yeah.
That's good.
Aubrey Dit Clapper.
Oh,
It's just, yeah,
that's just the thing,
have
eh?
they had different names back then. Okay, so that's the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, it still sounds weird, but now that we have the true origin, I respect that much more.
Now, when someone brings it up in conversation, I can
Yes.
say, well, actually, did you know
The
that
more you learn.
Constantine Frederick Smythe is a veteran?
Veteran. Yeah.
And yada, yada, yada. There we go.
Okay, that leads us to stuff that you wanted to get into because you wanted to take a look around the National Hockey League a bit.
Yes, I do. And we will.
Okay.
Speaking
did you
of
wanna
the
get
Leafs,
to?
let's quickly touch on this. Toronto Maple Leafs. They, over the weekend, eliminated from playoffs.
Shucks.
Yeah. Nasties, how you feeling about that? It's going to be
Devastated, I'm
interesting
sure.
season, off season for them. But if I'm not mistaken, pretty good run. Like, they didn't go far, but they made it, if I'm not mistaken, 9 years in a row. Or was it 10 years? So not bad. Good for them. But just, I don't know. That's annoying because you only go past the first round, twice, I believe. But yeah, so fascinating stuff. It'll be interesting to see what the Leafs do this offseason. You got something there?
I was laughing at some of the texts that are
laughing at me?
coming in. Yeah. Duck Dad asked, next, you will tell me YouTube isn't YouTube Trev's first name.
That's actually
Weird,
so good.
right?
Yeah, like in 100 years from now. Well, YouTube Trev, YouTube wasn't his first name, actually.
Yeah. He was named after a popular web and television app.
That
And in 100 years, who knows if TV will even be a
I don't think it'll be a thing. I think
a reference point that people
there's
would
going to be
generally
no
get.
screens. Well, there'll be some, but it'll all be sunglasses or just glasses.
That's cool.
And so you just look and you just have. Mark Zuckerberg was talking about it.
Was he?
That's the future.
He's not a
apparently,
cyborg.
in his eyes.
Not a
Might
cyborg
be a
at all.
cyborg and an alien.
Perhaps.
More on that later.
Perhaps. I've got the Artemis cruise. They're going around the backside of the moon right now.
The dark side.
Dark side of the moon.
Apparently, the furthest humans have ever been away from the Earth that we know
Right
of.
now. Yes.
There's obviously aliens. We don't know if that happens. One of us could have got abducted.
Have you not seen Star Trek, guys?
So, to our knowledge,
Yeah.
this is the farthest. We have sent our own,
Right.
but there is a chance aliens have abducted us and taken us.
I'll throw this at you. Patrick Waugh fired and Pete DeBoer hired. Did that surprise you? I think I was caught off guard by that.
It did surprise me.
Yeah.
I was editing a video yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I didn't really know what to talk about, and then I do this video, and then I'm scrolling, and then I'm like, this game 30 minutes too short. I just recorded. So, very surprising. I wonder how much of what we're seeing right now with the Golden Knights impacted this decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of thinking that, but the more and more Drager, we had him on, and he was like, no, this is based off of the future. Like, they're making this decision for the future of the team. And so there's that. But just a surprise. Like, I didn't think Patrick Waugh is a bad coach. A Jack Adams winner over a decade ago, I guess. But yeah, it was just they're looking to the future. They were going to do this eventually, so why not do it now? And there's the potential of getting that bump.
Yeah.
So
with just a few games left. By the way, the Islanders, if you're going, where the heck are they in the standings? Weren't they in the mix? Yes, they were in the mix, but right now they're a point out of the second wild card spot, and they're a point back of Philly in the Metro. They're in the Metro, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they are. So they've lost 4 in a row, 3-7 in the last 10. So they've stumbled out of this, and they have 4 games remaining. So they need a coach bump immediately.
They need it.
Probably need to run the table or at least win 3 out of 4 to make the playoffs. All right. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. I have one more topic to discuss, and it's very much Oilers related. On this day 10 years ago was the final Oilers game at Rexall Place, a.k.a. the Coliseum. And now that there's no sponsorship attached to it, it will forever be known to me as the Coliseum. I will always reference it as the Coliseum, not Skyreach Center, not Rexall Place. It's the Edmonton Coliseum, Northlands Coliseum. We shut that place down in Oilers history 10 years ago today.
Oh, yeah.
Send us memories, your favorite memory from the Coliseum. Do you actually miss it? What do you wish that they had at Rogers Place from the Coliseum today? What do you remember from the Coliseum? Because my Oilers TV crew, they all work somewhere else. Some are with the Bruins now, some are with the Devils. They're all texting images and stuff from that night and or all the times we had working together. And like, I have just a bombardment of texts that are coming in all show. What do you have that you remember from the Coliseum?
What do I remember? Well, I remember going to my first ever skills competition at the Coliseum.
Yes.
I told stepdad Frank, we're going to this. And he was like, really? I'm like, yes, drive me up there now. So that's what we did. And after the competition, I've told this a few times now on the Nielson show, but I got my jersey signed by Yakupov, by Gazdic, by
dudes.
Boyd Gordon, by Martin Marincin, and Anton Belov. And it's a 1-of-1. So that was a pretty cool moment. I just remember like going home and I was the talk of my class. They were like, whoa, you look at this jersey. This is awesome, Trev. I'm like, yep. First game was against the Minnesota Wild, which was, I was very young, and that was back in like 2011. But don't really remember too much there. And then my last memory of the Coliseum was in my grade 12 year. Went up again with stepdad Frank, and row 1, right behind the Oilers, where they the net, and it was pretty cool, man. I was like, oh, this is unreal. I wanted to see the tickets were so cheap right then and there, and so I got to sit right behind the man during the warm ups. Just pucks coming at me. I was like, oh damn. So that was really cool seeing the players that close. That was awesome.
This will be the numbers game. Excellent memories, Trev.
Yes,
this is the numbers game brought to you by Play Alberta. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta, safe and secure. All the funds generated from Play Alberta go back into programs and services in our fine province. And if you're going to put a little sprinkle down on the action around the National Hockey League or maybe Final Four today, I think today's the championship, or any other games and sporting events, use your game sense. We have Benny Thompson here. You just shared some of your Coliseum memories.
Yes.
Benny, do you remember the Coliseum or were you too young?
Not a whole lot. Like I think I went to a game Oilers versus Detroit when I was young. It was mainly once they moved to Rogers when I started to go more games and stuff. We were my family and I were regulars for the out of town watch parties.
Yep.
In the 2017 run.
Right.
I remember watching the Joe Pavelski cross-check from...
At the Coliseum?
No, this is Rogers.
Yeah.
I think it was Draisaitl cross-check Pavelski or something, and Draisaitl got kicked out, and they lost 7-0. Yeah. But yeah, Coliseum stuff, I don't know, I probably went to 2 or 3 games there.
Yeah.
I remember more Saddle Dome games than Coliseum.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, both not fantastic arenas.
I'll say this about the Coliseum. Even though it wasn't the nicest, on the inside aesthetically, it was very functional.
Yeah.
And the crew that worked there did everything in their power to make it as nice as possible. And actually, the concourses were tight, but where they had done the renovations were nice.
Yeah.
It was built in 1974. All right. Hockey and sporting events, basketball games, arenas changed dramatically in the mid-90s to what we're seeing now. And we have the good fortune of having Rogers Place here. But I'll give you guys my memories before I read a bunch out.
Please.
I remember seeing the Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets 1.0, and my dad taking me to the game, and Messier was still on the team.
Mm.
I think it was his last year as an Oiler, and I got to see him play as an Oiler. He was my favorite player.
Cool.
And I was like, I saw Mark Messier.
Yeah.
Sick.
Then he got traded to the Rangers the next season. I remember the old red seats down below and the old scoreboard before they did the renovation. I remember watching Curtis Joseph let in 6 or 7 goals to the Red Wings, and the Oilers got beat 8-1 or 8-2. Kelly Buchberger fought Brendan Shanahan that night. Somehow we ended up with tickets, and they were they're terrible, nosebleed seats. But we just wanted to go to the game. It was my dad and I, and this old guy comes up and he's like, "Does your son want to go sit in my seats?" I'm 4 rows behind the Oilers bench, and I went and sat and watched the period from there.
Nice.
But I was
wow.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I was like, Dad, that was unreal. Why can't you buy those tickets? I don't want to support Peter Pock. My dad hated Peter Pocklington.
Oh yeah,
hated him. He's like, I'll never support him again.
Damn.
I don't want him making any money after everything he did. My dad hated him. And then obviously after they sold to Edmonton Investors Group, he was happy to go to games again and spend money on tickets and stuff.
Funny.
Now he goes quite regularly and has for a long time. I remember I would have to do the interviews at the intermissions in the TELUS Media Center.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
I remember watching you.
That was a lot of fun. And I remember... Oh man, I spent so much time there. I saw almost every nook and cranny of that building. I do know, I can say this. So getting to know the building staff, Chris, George Wasselishin, sorry, George. Oh God. There's
so many people.
Yeah, I can't even remember their names. Anyway, they told me that there was a spot on the pad of the ice where it heaved because it became uneven over 40-something years. And Northlands is marshland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Ruh-roh.
And it heaved a little bit. So by the penalty box where the ref's semicircle is, it was actually raised up. And there was a team at the morning skate that was doing tight turns around there. And the whole rink crew was like, uh-oh. Because if they keep digging into that ice, they're all going to hit the concrete pad and start falling. And luckily, they didn't.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So there was stuff like that.
So it was time.
Yeah. I remember getting Rogan Dean from the Oil Kings for the first time taking me to the storage dock where they kept all the equipment and stuff and all the old stuff that you vending machines and popcorn machines from like the 70s and stuff.
Cool.
And he's like, let's go shopping, Tommy. I got new gloves,
Sick.
pants, helmet,
That's awesome, man.
visor.
Oh, your memories are so cool.
Yeah,
man.
it was
so much cooler.
It was
than
cool.
mine.
I loved that building, but it was time to move on.
Love that, buddy.
Jamming says Coliseum was very loud. I miss Rexall beers or Coliseum beers. Penner's Pancake says Northlands Coliseum. Jamming adds Eberle's first goal. Andy, my good buddy Andy, says 2006. Yeah, that was a hell of a cup run. Kelvin says Gagne's 8-point night and all the jersey retirements. Southside Stobie says Patrick Stefan missing that empty net. That was wild. Baptized Big Uke was saying, I was cheering for the Stars, though, for that game. Duck Dad says, love the standing room there. Behind the second deck on the end zones, they had standing room seats, and they were like little squares with like a little bar stool.
Okay.
And I remember I would buy half-price singles on like Tuesdays or during the week. The tickets that weren't sold, you could buy for half price, and it was the like single seats that were just scattered around the building.
Yeah.
But I would always just go to the standing room area that Duck Dad was talking about, and I'd buy a beer. And on Tuesdays, the beers were $1 off.
Nice.
And they were $6.50 back then, and you get them for $5.50. So you get in for like $25.
What?
And if you had 40, you'd have a couple beers, and you'd watch the game, and then you're in and out. It was awesome.
You're making me sad now, Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss that. I wish I grew up then. Crush a $5 beer.
$5. It was great. You give a tip, obviously, too.
Oh, that's good.
Jamie from Beaumont says, what I miss seeing them win the cup there. Gretz and the rest of the boys on the bus playing crack beers. The crack beers for sure. That was a thing. I'd always go get one after I was finished shooting
crack
my Oilers.
Beers?
My Oilers Today, or I think it was called
Tom
In Focus
Gazzola.
for a while. Yeah. I'd always go to the bar before it closed, and they'd have like the bartenders would have a couple beers ready to go, and they're like, "How many do you want, Tom?" I'm like, "2."
Give me 2, please.
Yeah. Sometimes I get a free one. Most of the time I just pay.
Nice,
But
man.
it was great. Katie Flyer says Mariella Muse 7-point game. Cujo's Mario Lemieux. He's obviously doing voice to text. Mario Lemieux 7-point game. Cujo's debut, and the amount of people I used to get hit with shots behind the net before they had screens.
Damn.
Library Pat says 3 specific Coliseum memories come to mind. 1, my first game there versus the Bruins. Not sure exactly what year, but I know Brad Park was playing for Boston, so that had to be early 80s. 2, a game versus Washington in 1998 when Mark Tenorti injured Doug Waite. 3, a game versus the Blue Jackets when Penner, Hemsky, and Gagne each got a pile of points. That's from Library Pat.
Oh, this is good. Thanks for sharing this. This is
crazy.
10 years.
10 years today.
Man,
the Oilers played their
Canucks.
final game at Rexall Place.
I think Bob Cole.
Bob Cole did that game.
Yeah. Where you were there working that one?
Yeah, I took a picture with Bob.
Yeah.
And, I took a picture of him a couple of years earlier, but I remember seeing him and I'd be like, hey, Bob, good to see you. And he'd be like, hey, young man, good work out there. I'm like,
Who is that guy?
And he punched me on the shoulders. Keep it up. I'm like, he knows who I am. No clue. And he had like Alfredo sauce on his mouth. He's a legend. I love that guy. I also remember one more story. I interviewed Don Cherry, and Steve Hogle was my boss at the time, and he's like, it depends on. And Warren Love was handling Grapes and Ron McLean, and he's like, depends how Coach's Corner goes. If it goes well, Grapes will do it. If it doesn't, no luck. And it went well.
Nice.
And Hogle goes, okay, get in there, because Warren's like, yep, thumbs up. So I get in there, and he's talking to Scott Oak in the press room down below by the Oilers locker room, and he's got this checkered suit on, and he's got suspenders, and he's going like this. I swear to God, Okie, I had my stick like this. I was about to kill the guy, and I go like this, and I cut my own guy on the lip. And Scott Oak, who, by the way, congratulations on a great career, will be doing his last Hockey Night Canada broadcast, I believe, this Saturday coming up. Was just sitting there like, yeah, all right.
Just so
thanks,
annoyed.
Don. Yeah, he just didn't care, right? Because he's been working with them forever. And then he's like, hey, kid, all right, let's do the interview. And I did the interview with him. He's like, yeah, you're pretty good. I'm like, Don Cherry set up.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Anyway, 10 years ago today.
10 years.
The last Oilers game at Northlands Coliseum. That's going to do it. Sorry, I got all excited.
No, that was good, man. I'm all for Tommy's story time. That was awesome. I like hearing that stuff. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like the behind the scenes. So that's great. Great way to wrap up today's show.
Thank you for filling in for Dusty today.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, we're going to do it again on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Benny, what's coming up next on EST Afternoons?
We got Jonathan Davis on to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights.
How
and
about
everything.
Jade? Tell people real quick what happened to JD.
If you missed the pregame show, he couldn't. Just couldn't do his job. He was trying to do a hit with us, and he was doing it in Crypto Arena, and kept getting told to move from Crypto.com security.
Yes.
So I don't know. We'll see if we bring that up with him. And then we also have Andrew Gross from the Islanders talk about, obviously, Pete DeBoer stepping in for Patrick Waugh and everything going on the island.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. EST Afternoons coming up next for YouTube Trev. I'm Tommy saying thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Keep it tuned to EST all afternoon long. We'll see you later.